Nice to see you this morning. Are you helping Victoria out?
Good morning. We are. Income support will start from day one of this 5-day lockdown, and importantly, the people of Victoria know that the Morrison government has their back. As we know, the Premier's announced a 5-day lockdown. Let's hope it's not extended, but if it was extended into multiple weeks, then business support would be available too. And this is the 5th lockdown that Victoria has experienced, and it comes just over a month after their most recent lockdown. So it's pretty trying days here in Melbourne, just as it is across Sydney and broader New South Wales.
It must really burn you though, Josh, after really giving it to them earlier this week. Now you're actually going to have to give it to them.
Well, our issue is in order to strengthen the economy, to support people, we need to put our hands in our pockets, and that's what we've done from day one, Karl, of this crisis. As you know, we've deployed more than $300 billion in direct economic and health support across the country, and the consequence of that is that the Australian economy today is bigger than it was going into the pandemic, and more Australians are employed today than at the start of the pandemic. No other advanced economy has seen such a strong rebound, and this is particularly important for Australia because the economic shock that we've faced has been the biggest since the Great Depression, and it's been our first recession in nearly 30 years. So that's why yesterday's unemployment numbers were very pleasing, but also they don't take into account what's recently happened in New South Wales.
That being said, I mean, earlier in the week you couldn't have been stronger in your vocal against Dan Andrews, and pretty much he's jammed you, hasn't he?
Well, our support today is to the Victorian people. Daniel Andrews has, as of yesterday, called another lockdown, and as you know, it's coming just a month after the most recent one. So I think the people of Victoria are doing it pretty tough, and the Morrison government is there to support them.
I mean, you said that the job numbers were good yesterday. It's probably not going to be the point next month when we get them, when we see the impact of these lockdowns, the two largest cities in Australia. When we do see the rest of the world opening up, you guys did a great job last year. Do you think you're doing a good job now?
Well, I do think that the economy is strong. I think its fundamentals are very healthy. And let's not discount what happened yesterday with the job numbers. It was the lowest unemployment rate in more than a decade. Importantly, youth unemployment is now its lowest level since 2009, and we saw more than 50,000 full-time jobs being created. So while we are seeing major lockdowns across New South Wales and Victoria, one hopes that our health authorities can get on top of this virus, Ali, and then we'll see the rebound come back. And we're rolling out the vaccine as quickly as possible. More supply is coming online, and I just hope that all those people watching your program this morning, if they're eligible, they get the jab.
So, you know, can I just ask you this, because it probably needs a little bit of clarification this morning. For Sydney in particular, or actually Melbourne in particular, in relation to this 7-day moratorium you've got on the help there, is that just individuals, or is that business as well?
So this is about income support. So income support will start from day one, and the amount of income support you get, Karl, will depend on the number of hours of work you've lost as a result of the lockdown. If you've lost between 8 and 19 hours of work over the course of this lockdown, you'll get $375. If you've lost 20 hours or more of work, then you'll be able to get $600 for that week. With the case of business support, that will be eligible from week 3 if the lockdown goes that long. We haven't heard that from the Victorian Premier about the length of the lockdown, and I know that they're trying to keep it to just 5 days.
Well, the Chamber of Commerce has come out saying 5 days will ruin some businesses, and you can understand it in Sydney too. I mean, Gary's kebab shop can't afford to open, but Gucci's open.
Well, last time they had the lockdown in Victoria was just over a month ago. The Victorian government announced business support, more than $250 million for the first week, and then just over $200 million for the second week. I'm expecting that they would also make announcements about business support, but I'll leave that to them for these first 2 weeks.
We heard Daniel Andrews say yesterday, you only get one chance to go hard and to go fast. Do you think Gladys Berejiklian needs to go harder with her lockdown?
Well, again, Gladys Berejiklian will take the advice of her health experts, and Daniel Andrews will take the advice of his health experts.
But you're the one who's putting your hand in the pocket to prop up all these businesses to get through the lockdown, so you've got to have an opinion on it.
Well, my opinion is that they do everything they can to get on top of the virus as quickly as possible, because we know with the Delta strain, it's much more contagious. It's much more dangerous the way it moves through the community a lot quicker than with previous strains. So obviously, these are difficult days in New South Wales, but the health authorities and Gladys Berejiklian, Ali, have shown themselves to be very capable in dealing with previous outbreaks. Let's hope they can get on top of this one, even though it's more contagious.
People are sick and tired of it, Treasurer, as you'd know, of the lockdowns. Businesses are sick and tired of it. Families are sick and tired of schooling online. Some of this blame, whether you like it or not, is going to fall on the government for the slow vaccine rollout. You must concede that.
Well, we're trying to get the vaccine rolled out as quickly as possible, Karl. The good news is well north of 9 million Australians, or 9 million doses have been delivered. And in the most vulnerable cohorts, like the over 70s, more than 70% have received their first jab. In the over 50s, more than 50% have received their first jab. And more than a third of the Australian population aged over 16 who are eligible for the vaccine have received their first jab. And so the numbers are picking up as more supply comes online. I had a very productive meeting with General Fruin and the leaders of the business community just the other day, and they're very keen to get involved, and we are involving them. So I'm confident that the vaccine rollout will pick up, and hopefully that these lockdowns can become a thing of the past.
Well, we know it is lockdown 5 for Melbourne, but it's lockdown 5-0 for you tomorrow. It's a happy birthday, we believe. Spent in lockdown. You know, Karl's gutted because he was going to jump out of a cake for you.
I was.
Oh, really?
In his birthday suit.
Hopefully he was wearing something.
Why?
I was about to say.
Why? Get with the program,
well,
Josh.
Well, I was hoping you'd help me blow out the candles. You know, there are so many on the cake these days, I don't know if I could do it myself.
Happy to help you blow out the candles, Treasurer, any time. Thank you for your time. And from all of us here at the Today Show, a very happy birthday. You worked incredibly hard. Appreciate your time today.
Thanks, Karl. Thanks, Allison.
See you at the cake.
He's looking forward to that. He's probably right now glad he's in lockdown.
Yeah. No, I don't reckon. I reckon there's a glint in his eye.